sisters, we'll talk about, say, you find a lump in your breast, and immediately you go to the doctors and they tell you, well, radiation. And I'm looking at the inbox and somebody said that, that is the first part that they say. Can Dr. Akili talk about that? Why not allow me to heal naturally? You'll tell me I'm going to die before I could possibly heal naturally. But, explain the process of what happens when a woman finds a lump, you find out it's cancer, and they immediately want to start burning you up with radiation.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing that everybody has to take in consideration is you're not talking to a doctor that didn't come from that system. I came from that system. That was the system I was trained in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, nobody can give you information that they're ignorant of. And so what you all hear me talk about on this show, I didn't learn in medical school. I started finding a way to take my journey in a different perspective because I wasn't pleased with what I was getting in that system. So you go to a doctor. The only thing they know is to treat cancer with chemotherapy and radiation. What other answer do you believe you're going to get? If you go to a person and that's all they know to do is tell you what they know. They know to send you to an oncologist who believes in chemotherapy and radiation. That is the standard of treatment for cancer. Now, what is cancer? Cancer are cells that have gone astray. Cells are cancer that has a new DNA, a different DNA that you were given, not because you were born with cancer, not because God punished you. There is a very horrible, toxic society that we live in. And every day, we put toxic food in our bodies. We wash our bodies with toxic water, toxic soap, toxic shampoo. We put toxic lotion on when we get out the shower. We brush our teeth with toxic toothpaste. We drive down the street and there's toxic air, toxic exhaust. You can't have your body stay healthy in a toxic environment unless you're doing some things to take it in the right direction. So just take your mind back to that toxic environment that I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
And then when you sit down and eat at dinner at night, and probably all other times, you're having bad conversations, watching television shows. So your food is not able to go in your body and do the right thing because the wrong energy is in your body. So all of that, and the DNA that you were born with that allows your body to duplicate perfectly is starting to deteriorate. It's starting to go in a bad direction. It's starting to get injured. And you're not giving your body enough clarity, enough good food, enough rest, enough water, enough detoxification to repair. And so these cells start going in a negative direction. They keep going in a negative direction, and eventually they become dysplastic, meaning that they are now in a no man's land. They can't do the right thing, but they're not doing the wrong thing. But eventually that dysplastic cell becomes a cancerous cell or a precancerous cell.
Wow.
And if nothing has changed, then you start going into a cancer cell. So, sisters, if you wind up at a doctor's office and they find a small lump in your breast and you haven't had it for 20 or 30 or 40 years, the first thing that a typical doctor is going to do is put the fear in you. If you don't do this, you're going to have this chance to die. If you don't do this, 90% of people have it spread to. That's fear.
But Doc, why did they, what is that? If y'all are just joining us, this is Jay DeLay Show with Brother Jamil, and it's Take Charge Thursday. We're taking charge of our hells. This is the segment that Dr. Akili Graham Muhammad, one of the most incredible minds in terms of medicine, and he's live on the show, and he's here for you. If you've got questions, go ahead and put them in the room. Send them in the inbox. It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and do this. A woman goes to the doctor, Doc. She's just found a lump. It hadn't been there. I checked last month. I check all the time, and it's just a little lump, and it's there. So I go to the doctor. Man, he tell me I got 6 months to live. I got 2 days to live. I'm not making fun of you. I mean, Doc, talk about it from there. He puts fear in her. Why?
Because that's all they know. I mean, let's be honest. I just got to be honest with y'all.
Okay. Just lay it
When
down,
you
Doc.
go to a hospital, when you go to a doctor's office, when you go to an urgent care center, if you think those people are in business to keep you healthy, you have lied to yourself. I'm sorry.
What do you mean, Doc?
It's
They
not
told us
about
all
you
these years
anymore.
you coming here
It's
to
about
heal.
money. It's about money.
But I'm
It's
trying to
about not
heal.
being sued. It's about protocol. I have to do the protocol that all the other doctors are doing. I have to do the protocol because I don't want to get sued. I can't do anything different. I can't come out of my mind and think something different because I might get sued. See, you're not listening to a doctor that's going to fall into that trap. So if you have a doctor that fell into that trap, that they're afraid to do something different and afraid to think based on what they learned in school, then hell, what else can they give you? I'm not trying to blame these doctors. I'm blaming the system.
Wow.
So if you want to take charge of your health, that's why I'm on this call. That's why I appreciate the platform, because I got to give you something different. Because if you don't have different information, you can't make a different choice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sitting here saying that chemotherapy is not necessary for some people and radiation is not for some people. It depends on what state you're in. But if you, as a woman, have a small lump in your breast and they think it's cancer, well, when did you think that putting an antiperspirant under your arm was not going to have a consequence? God made your underarm sweat to get rid of toxins, to cool the inside of your body, and you put on an antiperspirant every day so that you don't wet up your blouse, and you didn't think there was going to be a consequence? You wear tight bras with metal under your breast every day. Your breasts are all squeezed up next to your body, and you don't think that that's going to have a consequence? I'm not trying to knock any woman out there doing this, but I want to put something on your brain to make you think. Your breast wasn't meant to be pushed up against your body every day to be pretty for no damn man. Your breast was made for a specific purpose. Your underarm, it's a specific purpose. If you haven't read the ingredients in your lotion that you rub on your breast every day, if you haven't read the ingredients of your shampoo, if you don't read the ingredients of your toothpaste, what is the consequence of putting poisons that you can't even pronounce in your body every day for 20, 30, 40 years?
Good God
So
Almighty.
just within a couple of minutes, I can give women out there things that you can start doing that will improve your breast health, and maybe your body would kill that little small lump of cancer in your breast. Do you have the faith that this body that you have that can work perfectly if you treat it perfectly? Do you believe it can kill a little bitty cancer? I'm not talking about a cancer that's gotten big and metastasized all over the body, but if you got a little fingernail-sized lump in your breast, do you have enough faith? And if you have enough faith, faith without works is dead. So don't tell me you have faith and you're going to keep eating the same way you did, keep the same practices that you've been doing for the last 30, 40 years before you got diagnosed with the lump. We have to learn different information, and then you have to start doing something different.
Absolutely,
And
y'all.
that is what this show is about. That's what I'm about, and there is no alternative. Unless you want to be in that system where they're going to treat you like a number, because I'll be honest with every single one of you. If any of you on this call doesn't have insurance, you know you've been treated one way when you had insurance and totally different when you didn't.
Absolutely.
Now, what kind of a system is that puts you in a damn pigeonhole or in a grave because you don't have insurance?
Doc?
That says it all right there.
Absolutely, Doc. We got the inbox rolling here. The ladies, Shonda, on the inbox, she wants to know, what are the other solutions I could do? Doc, I tried the crystal deodorants, and I tried to go natural, and I still wind up musty. I just can't do it. I understand what you say about the deodorants. What are some of the other solutions? And bottom line, I will take your advice, and I will stop squeezing my girls in a tight space with a chicken wire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Not a
the
chicken
first thing that I would say, sister, is like, unfortunately, we have been trained in a system where you don't want to smell a certain way and you don't want moisture on your clothes. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into all the vanity stuff, but personally, when I first changed my eating habits, I would have to wash under my arms twice a day. I would go in the bathroom in the middle of the day, wash up under my arms, put some more deodorant on because I would start smelling horrible by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the day. And then I have to do it again because some of my days were 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I didn't finish till 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I would literally have to wash up twice a day. And so I'm suggesting that you are going to have to figure out what works for you. But what I'm saying, I'm just giving you the truth. If you are putting an antiperspirant under your arms, you are making a big mistake. Because anytime you go against the way God made these bodies, there's a consequence coming. Sometimes short consequences, sometimes long, but you got a consequence coming. You got to stop it. And yes, you will have to go through an experimentation of what will work for you and what won't. I had to do that. So I'm giving information, but you're going to have to go through some processes to try to figure it out. And then I will say this. When I made my transition away from antiperspirants and other things like that, I also was in the same place in my life where I started changing my eating habits. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm not telling anybody to become a vegetarian if that's not part of your plan. But vegetarianism is the best, not veganism. Veganism is very, very wrong in a lot of ways, and we can talk about that another time.
Man.